We're live on Nas. All-time highs once again. Once again. We've been calling these buys ever since we've been holding above 20K, right? So on the monthly chart, as you see, very, very bullish. We're heading into this new week coming up after the elections. And yeah, the market tends to rally after elections historically, right? And ever since price broke above 20K here back in September on the weekly chart, we've been looking for buys. Anywhere between, I'd say, like 19.6 and 20K. This whole zone here has been fairly good for buys, right? It's a 400 pip stop loss weight that may be a little bit too much for most traders. Most traders want to have that super tight stop, but you got to give yourself some breathing room and just keep stacking orders and stand on business. And of course, there's on smaller time frames, there's a clear setup here. You can even use this candle right in there. This whole thing was valid for buys. Looking at the daily chart, of course, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we're at all-time highs. We're it's gonna sell off. We have a change of character and all this," and it came back, sold off again, and now we're here and it's gonna just sell off again. Like, bro, we need to see evidence. There was no evidence in here that we wanted to sell. All we kept seeing were inverted setups, right? Beautiful inverted accumulation schematics, buy setups, whatever you want to call it, right? This was the main one. We had liquidity, swept it, and broke above. And then all this consolidation to get people emotionally damaged just to continue riding up, right? This setup was never violated, right? This buy setup was never violated. So why are we not taking advantage of that? If this was the play and we're uptrending, we need to, hold on that, stand on business. And that's why, price moved over 1,000 pips, and that's just NASDAQ. That's not including US 30, over 2,000 pips. Same scenario, and we're already above the all-time highs. We're already above the all-time highs. What is this? Right, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's basic market structure. Basic. There's no reason why anyone should be selling here. It only makes sense to buy, right? I'm trying to find out where people were selling. That's why the market flew so aggressively, because there was so much liquidity. Maybe people were like, "Oh, well, we have a shoulder. We swept liquidity. We changed characters. So now, yeah, I mean that's there, but is it worth it?" Right? We all know the market is bullish. It only makes sense to continue the buys. And then, same thing happened with SPX. Same thing. Very, very same thing. Liquidity, swept it, broke above, retest, came back, retest, gone. Basic, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That is an uptrend. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not doing anything crazy. We're not doing any witchcraft or trickery. We're just following basic structure. So for all the buys, market is pretty high. So I'd rather buy down here back at 5875 on SPX. NAS, I'd rather buy back at all-time highs of 20,800. There's a setup here, right? We have liquidity buildup. We sweep it, and then we break structure to the upside. So price comes down to match all-time highs for the break and retest, or anywhere lower. It doesn't matter. For more confidence, wait for another setup. You can take that. But I do like anywhere from all-time highs back to 20K as buys. You can even draw your Fibonacci from the lows all the way to the current highs. And then, of course, the 50%, boom, lines up with some inefficiencies. We have some imbalances, some starting points, order blocks, whatever you want to call it. But, this is still very bullish. We broke structure to the upside. So pretty much anywhere from these lows to these highs that were broken, I'm going to be looking for buys in that area. If and when we do come back, maybe you can see it more clearly on smaller time frames. And of course, there's, better setups down here as well. You know, some may even argue that price could sell off from here, which it could. There's a nice sell setup right in there. So if you want to, you know, counter trend trade, sell to buy, go ahead. Do what you got to do. We did change character here to the downside. We had liquidity, swept it, changed character. Now we're back. So we'll see if we drop or we respect the uptrend and continue higher. Only time will tell. Market opens here in a few. But what I'm really looking at, since, you know, NAS is pretty high up there, Bitcoin is pretty high up there too. We broke all-time highs last week, you know, heading past 80K here. We broke 73K, which is the previous all-time highs. Super glad on cryptos. And now we're looking at gold and silver. Since gold and silver are, you know, still pretty low in respect to what everything else is doing. I mean, obviously gold flew, but as far as current action, what's happening now, we're not seeing that push like we saw in crypto and indices. So I want to catch the next gold and silver push, preferably silver. Silver is looking more of a better opportunity because, you know, the room for upside is much greater than it is on gold. I might know for gold we already broke previous all-time highs, but silver we have yet to break $50 an ounce. So I would love to catch these next silver plays around. I would love to catch it at 30 and ride it up to 50. That'll be solid. We have a beautiful setup right in here. All this right here is very, very beautiful. Go down to the daily, maybe see it better. But yeah, this looks very solid. You can use this one here, liquidity, swept, broke above, retest, and gone. Or you want to use the whole spectrum here. We have from this high to this low. That's liquidity. All this, we swept it. Okay, and then we did break above these highs here, right over there. So now that price is back, you know, boom. That can take us to the next level. So I do like buys, you know, 30 and above. Technically anywhere, you know, this is the stop loss down here. Technically anywhere from here to 30, I would love to catch some buys. You can do the Fibonacci from the low to the high. Boom, 50% is right there. Definitely wouldn't mind that. You know, or you can do this one here. Boom, we're already there. You know, you want to do this one up here, same thing. We're still there. So yeah, I'm looking at buys here. Super solid. I would love to sweep these lows and then catch it up. So I do have some buy limits set here. So if we do drop, catch that. Or unless we respect what's happening currently, I know we have some buy setups right in here as well. That price is respecting. So we'll see. I know I see this right here, liquidity, sweep, break above, retest, gone. And price is right there again, doing the same thing. So, you know, it looks good right here. Even 31.3, this area here is very solid. If this doesn't hold, I'm looking down here. So I'll take a test trade there, see how that goes. If not, then boom, lower. Thanks for coming to the TED Talk.